I will pass it to Melda.
All right, well, welcome everyone. Are you guys ready to start making a pico de gallo? Should be
Yeah.
fun. All right, so I hope you guys have your guys' ingredients. If not, it's okay. You guys can follow through. Let me go ahead and move the computer.
I was wondering whether or not you're going to be cooking and hiking in your living room.
I'm in my sister's kitchen right now, so kind of trying to adjust here. All right, so we want to start off with your 3 tomatoes, 1 jalapeno. We have the lime.
Imelda,
Yes.
there's some people asking what is Pico de Gallo.
Oh, Pico de Gallo is a tradition that Mexico makes for almost on every side food dish that we make, especially on carne asada. When we grill food or anything, it's just like we love to eat it with tortillas on top of chicken, on top of our meat, and so forth. And so we'll start, also we'll have the onion, cilantro, salt, and you're gonna need a knife, a cutting board, and just a regular spoon. Here I already cut 1 tomato, and as well, yeah. So yeah, I'll go ahead and move this. Just make sure you wash your vegetables. I already washed mine ahead of time. And we'll just start by cutting the tomato. There's many ways you guys can cut your tomatoes. I personally just cut mine straight down. Make sure you want to take off the cap off. And I just slice them. Not so thick, depending how you guys like your guys' pico de gallo or your tomato. You can cut it as thick or as thin as you want to. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put on the chat box, and my friend Anita will go ahead and answer the questions as best as she can. So it'll look kind of like this. And then from there, we're just gonna cut straight down to little pieces. Like I said, depending on how you guys like your guys' tomatoes, if you like them really thick, you can cut them even thicker, just like this, and you'll have thicker slices. Or if you like them more thin, you can just cut them smaller sizes.
You can see you got some knife skills there.
Yeah, so after so many years of practice of cooking and so forth.
I also need to pick up cooking. My general cooking skills are just so low. I know how to cook like rice and eggs and boil potatoes, the simple things.
Yeah, I guess the older you get, the more responsibilities you have that you have to learn how to cook on your own. And that's where I'm at right now. So depending on how many people you guys are trying to feed with Pico de Gallo, normally for a family of 5, I usually do 4 tomatoes. And a little bit of onion, depending if you really love onion, then you can put as much onion as well. The spice for the jalapeno, you can just add on as much as you want on that.
Are you going to be using the pico de gallo on something?
What was that? I'm sorry?
Are you going to be using the pico de gallo on something?
No, I'm just making it, and if we use it, we use it, which I'm pretty sure we are.
Good.
So right now I'm just transporting everything to my bowl.
Imelda.
Yes?
Who was the first person to like teach you how to make this?
I guess it was just in my mom. She would make this very often on every side dish. So it just came out naturally, I guess. She will make us, at that time I was like maybe 8 or 10 or so around there, and she will make us do like these little small dishes for her to help her cook in the kitchen. So this was just one of the things that I just picked up from. And make sure make sure also your tomatoes are nice and like hard and not too soft, because if they're too soft, then you'll just have a big mess.
Yeah.
All right, so that's all my tomatoes in here.
Beautiful.
And now we're gonna move on with the jalapeno. Again, it could be in any order. It does not have to be a specific order. I just personally always do tomatoes and then jalapenos. And if you don't like your jalapenos being small, no problem. You can always just make them round. That way, so you can just pick them out and just get like the small spice taste on it. Or you can just cut them like little crosses and have it this size. So I usually just have them big pieces just because too much spice I can't handle. And it doesn't matter how thick or how thin. I just want like the spice taste onto my Pico De Gallo.
Hector is asking if ketchup counts.
And what, I'm sorry?
If ketchup counts.
If ketchup.
In place of tomatoes.
Well, that's gonna be very, very sweet just because ketchup does have other ingredients in it. I mean, by all means, if you like it, be my guest and just let me know how that tastes.
I'm like, it's super easy.
Yeah, so there's my jalapenos. They're nice and big pieces just because I can't stand that much spice. So there's that. All those pretty colors.
Yum.
And if you want to add more spice to it, feel free to add more jalapenos. Now I'm going to go into my onion.
Some cebolla.
Cebolla, yes.
Every
So
time I
have
cut onions, I cry.
Sorry, what is that?
Onion. This is a white onion. You could use purple onion or the yellow onion or whatever you like. My preference, I like the white onion just because it's stronger, I believe.
Do you use white onion for everything, or you have like, because for me, I have like specific type of onions for specific food. Like, I would use red onion for salads. I would use white onion for like vegetables. I don't know if you have that.
Honestly, I used to, but that was kind of a pain, you know, to buy all these onions. And I just prefer white onion. Don't know why. I just like it.
For me, I would prefer yellow onions. I think it's probably because it just has a milder taste to it than white onion.
So I'm cutting my onions into small little cubes. Again, if you like your onion more chunky or more thicker, then you can just cut them more thick. Or if you like them more thin, then just go with smaller. And if you don't like that much onion, you don't have to put so much onion into your Pico De Gallo. So
how do you not get affected by the onion though? Are you crying right now because of the onion?
No, I'm not. And I hope I don't, because that will just ruin my makeup. So I'm like looking away kind of discreetly and like blinking as much as I can so I won't cry.
She's Mexican. She's used to it. She's a little bit of immune to it.
All right, so there's the onion.
Oh, that is starting to look good.
It does.
Yes. Or I can just use my little Halloween hand. There we go. That way I can just scoop it up. Okay, I'm crying now. Oh gosh, I should.
Sorry. About how spicy is it? How spicy is Pico de Gallo? But I think you can control the spiciness, right?
Yes, so you can control this. Oh, sorry. You can control the spice. You don't have to put the jalapeno in. It's just Mexican culture. We use a lot of chile, a lot of jalapeno, a lot of spices, just because we like to have that kind of spice. That little burn in our tongue. All right, so now we have here the cilantro. May look like parsley, but it's not parsley.
Looks like to me.
Yeah, so obviously you wash your cilantro and we just cut it down the middle. And again, depends how thick you want it and how much you want. It just varies on you. I love cilantro a lot. And we're just cutting it. And just go through it one more time.
Delicioso.
Yeah. And then we have our cilantro. Okay. Which now we could transport it onto our bowl. All right, so now we just mix in the ingredients. And mine's very green just because I did put a lot of cilantro. Like I said, I love cilantro, so I just tend to put a lot in it. And if you guys could smell it, it smells very herby. It's just really, smells really good. Next, the lime. Straight down the middle, not much to it. And then just squeeze it in. Nothing special, depends on how sour you like it. Put as much as you like. So I just put half a lime with 4 tomatoes, 1 jalapeno, 1 full cilantro, and maybe like not even a third of an onion. And you mix it in. And then we have that.
With identifying lime and lemon, because like when I came here, the small limes, we call it limes, we call it lemon, and then the big one we call it lime, which is weird.
All the size of them? The lime and lemon?
The lime and the lemon.
Yeah, and then the last ingredient, we're just gonna go ahead and put salt. It could be any brand salt. This one specific is a Walmart brand. And then you just, that's it. Depending how salty you are, I guess you can put as much as salt or less salt you would like onto your dish. And that's basically a Pico De Gallo.
Woo!
Looks good.
Yes, it's very delicious. So I'm craving a nice steak to put on top of my so I can put it on top of with the Pico de Gallo. But yeah.
Oh, that looks so good.
Yes.
Actually, like in our culture, we have like something very similar called kachumbari, which is like the same ingredients, just a little different. Like for example, in the place of jalapeno, we have something called pili pili. And it's like interesting to see how we have foods that are similar from different culture. If you guys like have the same, you can just put it on chat and like let us know if you have something similar that you call different from your culture.
Absolutely. So I'm just wondering from the audience if anyone else started making a similar dish like this that they also kind of wanted to share, at least in the chat or in video.
Yes. or something similar. I mean, I have had people that put cauliflower into Pico De Gallo instead of putting jalapenos. So you guys are welcome to play with the dish and add your own ingredients. As well, people I have heard that put black pepper instead of salt. So anything works. And yes, it's a glow in the dark dollar store hand that I'm using as my scoop.
I was wondering if it was like a hand of a skeleton or something.
Yeah, it is.
Or skeleton.
Yeah.
Nice.
You don't need this hand anymore. You're gonna make my pico de gallo.
Yes. So let me go ahead and wash my hands. I'll have my co-host continue the conversation. I don't want to touch my eyes and make myself cry even more right now. So I'll be right back.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to touch your eyes with onions and jalapenos. Otherwise, you're definitely gonna make yourself cry here. And while Imelda is gonna be washing her hands, I am going to go ahead and start preparing my dish. Oh wait, can you see me? Yeah, you guys can see me. I'm gonna be preparing my dish and I'm gonna be making guacamole. Nice, easy, simple dish here. Let me get that prepared here. You're back.
Yes, I'm back. Duncan said, I think it's a glow in the dark prep skeleton hand. I remember scratching an itch on my eye while extracting habanero seeds. I regret that. Oh my goodness, that must have burned terribly. All right.
Making sure I have all the ingredients here. Can you guys see that all right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so my dish is guacamole, and we're gonna start off by cutting. I already kind of cut the onion in half, so you can start off with that. And I'm using yellow onion. As I said before, it's a lot more milder in taste. And as a warning, my knife skills are not as good as Imelda's, but I'm still gonna try my best here.
All right. And what kind of onion do you preferably use to make guacamole? Is just a white onion, or it could be any onion?
Are you asking me or are you asking the onion?
I'm asking you, Hector.
Oh, prefer yellow onions. White onions absolutely make me cry. Like as I literally cut the onion open, it's just the acidity of it is really strong, and I'm like, no. I sometimes think of whether or not I should wear a mask while cooking or cutting an onion.
I think next time I'm just gonna put some goggles on because I'm still crying from my left eye really bad.
Good idea.
Yes, and wear a goggle and a mask just to prevent the onion going into my eyes.
All right, so we cut the onion. I'm gonna go ahead and put it inside.
I wish you could all do this on campus, but we can't.
Yeah, I'm a little sad about that. I kind of wish we can do this so we can try each other's dishes, you know?
Mhm.
We go like we should have this event in the ICC and order some Mexican food and they come to us. But once we go back, we'll do that. But like it's like we order food to catering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then next, I'm gonna be using avocado. When you buy the avocado, you would kind of, feel it around and make sure it's not too hard, but it's not too soft either, else you can get some gooey, icky avocado here. So I'm hoping I picked a nice, good one, but we'll see here. And what you want to do is just kind of cut through the middle. Obviously, I would think that you would know that there's, a hard ball in the middle. So kind of just cut it from the sides. Beautiful. Our avocado. And so usually we would take a spoon to scoop out the thing, but it kind of fell out of its own, which is good. So I'm just gonna dispose of the seed there. And then, as you can see, 2 nice, beautiful avocados full of delicious, good, healthy fats. And so you will kind of just take a spoon, kind of scoop it out. The goodness inside.
Mm-mm.
Toss the shell. You can't really eat that. I mean, you can, but I don't know if you want to.
We have Duncan stated on the chat box. I personally enjoy growing the avocado seed. Makes a nice house plant after like 6 months of growing. Wow, I did not even know that.
Does that? I honestly didn't know that either, honestly.
Well, thanks for the reference. Now I know to save my my avocado seeds, since avocados are not cheap.
Avocados are not cheap. That was
Actually, when I came here, that was the first thing that really shocked me because like back at home, avocados are like almost staple food, so they're like super cheap. When I came here, I was like, what? This is crazy.
Yes, they're ridiculously.
from Mexico.
Yeah.
All right, so what are you doing now, Hector? I see that you're removing the insides of the tomato.
So next, you would want to use tomatoes, preferably Roma tomatoes. And as you can see, I kind of scooped out the inside of it, and I cut it in half first and scooped out the inside with a spoon. And then obviously we'll kind of cut off this end part here. It's not included in your food here.
I have a question for you, Hector. What is Roma tomatoes? What do you mean by that?
I mean, honestly, I'm not a huge expert on food, but like it's just that's meant. Oh, okay, never mind. He's playing something.
So
What's
it's
the
more,
difference between Roma tomatoes and other tomatoes?
yes. So the
And it's what he's saying. He's a chef, so he knows a lot more than I do.
Okay.
And so what you want to do is kind of cut it into long strips here. I didn't cut out the end, but you can see kind of like that, right? And then what you want to do is kind of do it horizontally, no, sorry, vertically. To get nice little.
Avocados are typically a giant berry. That's interesting.
I did not even know that either.
What is
And the reason why you remove the insides of the tomato so it won't be so runny and on the avocado.
exactly? You don't want the tomato juices essentially to kind of overrun and be watery over the actual guacamole dish. So that's why you kind of take out the insides of it
Okay.
and then keep the outsides.
Have Sini have a question that why do you cut the tomato seeds out?
The insides?
Yeah, why do you cut the tomato seeds out?
Because you don't want the tomato, or you don't want the guacamole to be watery as the finished product. So that's why you would kind of take out the inside of it because it's full of like water and juices and seeds and things like that. And you don't want that to, ruin the consistency of guacamole. Because I don't think guacamole is not supposed to be runny and watery. And so that's why we would, take the insides out and not put it in the dish. Okie doke. Last thing, lime. A nice little delicious lime here. Cut it in half. And then usually you can just kind of sprinkle it onto the dish, right? Kind of like that hand. But since I have my nice little nifty device here, I'm going to be using that to make some delicious lime juice. Because I'm cool like that.
Yes, and normally I make my my guacamole similar to that as well. However, I go ahead and put everything that I made for the Pico de Gallo. You can also make that as a guacamole, and you just squish your guacamole, your avocados, you squish them, you mash them into the Pico de Gallo, and that also becomes guacamole.
Really?
Yeah, that's how I do. I just add avocados onto it, and it becomes guacamole as well.
Oof. All right, I'm starting to cry a little bit. I'm starting to feel it.
And for your guacamole to last longer, you can also instead of throwing out the seeds of the guacamole, you can put them inside your guacamole dish. Obviously, you're not going to eat them. It's just to keep the guacamole refreshed and could stay good for like 3 to 4 days. As
Really?
well, if you add a little bit of milk, not a lot, just a little bit of milk, that will also help preserve the guacamole and not turn black.
I honestly didn't know that because I know like my dad and my uncles and aunts do that. Like I would see the ball inside of like this big bowl of guacamole, right? And I would ask him like, why is it in there? And usually they'll just tell me to be like, oh, it's just to keep everything fresh. I was like, how did I keep everything fresh? And I was thinking it's just, Mexican tradition to do that. Okay, so last thing here, I have my nifty, super fancy rock salt. Kind of sprinkle that over there. Just a little bit. And so your finished product will look something like this here. You can see that there. It's a nice, delicious guacamole. And after you make it, it is recommended to put it in the fridge for about maybe an hour or so for all the flavor and just kind of blend together and just have a better end result. So I am actually going to put that in the fridge. And so it doesn't actually spoil as well. And that is how you make guacamole. I actually need to go wash my hands real quick as well too. And I'm wondering if anyone else made guacamole.
What is the shelf life of guacamole? Imelda, if you can help us.
What is the shelf of the guacamole? I'm not sure. Honestly, I just make it and eat it. It's good. I just I don't question the fruit or the vegetables or anything. If it smells good, tastes good, I eat it. So what else do you guys put in your guys' guacamole? And yes, guacamole does need to be refrigerated. That's what Lupe is asking for a friend. It does have to be refrigerated as soon as possible. Once you're done with it, make sure you do cover it up with saran wrap or foil, and you put it in the refrigerator. If you don't, it will get super watery and it will turn black. And at that point, it's not edible anymore. I recommend toss it out. Let's see. And I did see Jarmine made a Pico de Gallo. Can you share that for us, please?
Yeah.
And was it easy to make? Let us know.
Yeah. It was actually really easy to make. You just chop it all up and then put it in a bowl. And I didn't have any cilantro, but I I have it here. Oh, that's so hard to show. I have it here. And I'm gonna eat it with chips. You made me hungry, Imelda.
Awesome, that's good to hear. And you can also make your own personal tortilla chips. I usually make them homemade just because they have like the authentic taste. Basically, you just buy regular tortillas. The brand I usually go for is Guerrero. Is this white see-through tortilla bag, and it has red. And then tortilla is a circle, obviously, and we just cut it cross. We have and then you put your pan with oil enough to cover, and then once it's let it sit for 5 minutes, then you throw in your tortillas, and you just fry them up for about a minute or two, and then you take them out, and then you add your salt. Super easy to make your own tortilla chips if you don't want to run to the store and buy a bag. Yeah. Yes, do make some chips. They come in handy and they're cheaper.
Oh yeah. If you have some tortillas lying around, you can just, do what Amel was saying, and you have some chips. Put some lime on it a little bit, some salt, all that good stuff.
That sounds good.
And yes, Gio, when you have a chance, do send a photo. Any other questions you guys have for either Pico de Gallo or for the guacamole? And yes, we can go ahead and post the ingredients. I did see that they want to have the ingredients on the chat, so I'll go ahead and add the Pico de Gallo on there.
I can go ahead and do for the guacamole real quick. You're supposed to use more guacamole, but since I'm kind of making it for myself, I'm going to use one. I recommend to use like 2 or 3 of them, but avocados are expensive.
They are. And mind you that you can use Pico de Gallo on anything that you guys like to eat as well with guacamole. People do, I have seen just a toast and guacamole on top, guacamole spread. That's one way to eat healthy, which I don't do that. I don't eat healthy personally, but others do. Any other questions you guys have?
Actually, I kind of wanted to ask everyone here, what is everyone's Mexican or favorite Mexican related dish? Like besides pico de gallo or guacamole, maybe besides tacos, something you can think of that you're just like, oh, I am feeling for some chilaquiles or quesadillas or what do they call the ones where it's like a big bell pepper, but it's covered in like egg, huevo.
Oh,
I think it's like reposado. No.
yeah, but they call it como chile rellenos, no?
Chile rellenos. Yes, that's what I was thinking about. Some chile rellenos.
Well, I had a similar dish as Pico de Gallo, but it had like shrimp on it. They called it something else, but I don't remember the name. You could help me.
Awesome. And yes, oh, Lupe says ceviche. Ceviche, yes. Ceviche, basically the basic concepts of Pico de Gallo. With ceviche, obviously you want to put diced cups of avocados. As well, you want to add cucumber. I also do put cucumber into my ceviche. And lots of lime. So it could basically cook the salad shrimps. As well, I do put some regular big shrimps too. Amy, albondiga soup. Oh yes, those are so good and super easy to make as well. Takes roughly like an hour to make.
Takes time. Takes a long time to make albondiga.
Yeah.
Tamales.
Yeah, tamales. I like tamales de puerco, pork tamales.
Pork. I like mine the pollo with jalapeno. I like mine a little spicy there.
Mm.
But you can also
G
make it without it being spicy.
Yes, even Gio, he said that use fish as well for ceviche. Yes, that's really good. I have tried that before.
What about some mole?
And
Any mole lovers here?
it's okay.
You don't like it? Oh my goodness.
And Duncan, I don't know how to say the ban exil is a type of Vietnamese dish, rice pancake, typically eaten with fish sauce with pork shrimps and bean sprouts. Source, I am Vietnamese. Okay. That sounds delicious.
Pupusas. Some said pupusas. Oh, Gio said pupusas.
Uh, yes, pupusas are good. My husband is Salvadorian, so pupusas run here every Sunday. We don't miss our pupusas.
I have a favorite restaurant that's nearby that has some nice, delicious pupusas. Salvadorian pupusas. Con chicharrón, frijoles. That's about it, actually. No cheese. Sin queso.
Yes. Chocolate. Okay, Lupe, chocolate. Everyone loves chocolate, I guess. Whether if it's
the chocolate is it dark chocolate or a regular chocolate? But I think either one of those is used in mole to make mole.
oh yeah, that's what he just said. That's what Lupe said because chocolate is in mole. I did not know that, but yeah.
You didn't know that? Have you tried mole?
Yes, I have made it here and there, but we're not really lovers of mole. So
Oh, you got some lovers. It's okay. I would prefer, like, especially during like the cold winter times, I would want some delicious pozole, some delicious red pozole.
yes. All right. So our event's about to end soon, unfortunately. But if Anish could go ahead and read the following, it would be great.
All right. Hey, everyone. Please follow us on Facebook and Instagram. We will have more events coming up, and our next event is on 18th of November, 2 to 3. We are doing a mental awareness program with GSA. And if you guys want to sign up for the newsletter, we will post that link in the chat. Let's move on to the next slide, Milna. And thank you, everyone. So we're just gonna hang out here. Let me put the check-in form one more time. I'll put the link in the chat. If you guys have not checked in, please check in. And we'll see you next time. If you guys want to hang out, we'll have some time. We'll just stay here. Thank you for coming to the event. I'll let Imelda close the event now.
As well, there's one of the participants that wanted to share one of her events coming up soon. If she wants to go ahead and speak up, that'll be great.
I'm guessing that's me. We are also having an event coming up, and it's the okay, we have a session on social media where we talk about the meaning of our flags. So it would be awesome to hear from you guys. Just take a short video and talk about your flag and what it means to you. And you can send it to us. It would be awesome hearing from you guys. And also we have this video competition of folk dance video competition. So I will be updating you guys soon, and it's going to be there's going to be an award, and I'm excited.